A good early morning to everyone, and I do mean early. You know, maybe I'm just at that point and age in my life now where if I get awakened in the middle of the night, which is what happened to me earlier, that's it, man. Game over. I can't get back to sleep. I just can't get back to sleep. So, when I have those nights, if I can make a video, just share my thoughts, for people who are interested, want to listen, or what have you. Sometimes after that, I can maybe get back to sleep. Maybe. But yeah, it's just been crazy lately. I don't know about you all, but sleep is elusive. It's elusive. I mean, there are certain nights I can, other nights I can't. But if I get awakened or something happens in the middle of the night, or it's like a lot of rain or whatever it is, it's like, forget it. Game over. No sense in even fighting it. So, but sometimes, like I said, if I make a video or something, if I share what's on my heart, my mind, get things off my chest, whatever the case may be, then I can maybe relax, rest my mind enough to where I can, you know, get a little more rest. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, that's just how I'm built, you know. If I just share what's going on, maybe it'll help me rest. So that's what I'm going to do for anybody who's interested. Try to make this a little informative and entertaining as well. Just being me, you know. Who else you going to be, right? I'm just being me. So, first and foremost, all praise to our God in heaven, Lord Jesus Christ. Very encouraged, very happy, very motivated to hear that my friend and pastor and many other people's pastor and possibly friend, Benjamin Faircloth, is doing so much better now. I thought he might call me last night. I was told that he might, but he didn't. And that's cool. I understand. He's probably resting. He probably has to get a lot of rest because he did have to undergo a procedure before being moved to a room, or maybe, yeah, I think they did the procedure, yeah, and then they moved into a room, and he's supposed to start physical therapy sometime today since it is technically Friday. So he is supposed to start physical therapy today, I believe. But yeah, he had to have a procedure. I'm not going to go into the details because I'm just not. I don't know what I shouldn't say, but let's just put it this way: the procedure he had done, I'm sure it was a great relief. Probably very painful. I'm very familiar with the procedure, uh, so I haven't seen it done, but I just know about it. Let's just put it that way, and it is a great relief on your body. Let's just put it that way. And so I'm glad that went well. And um, I guess he's able to start physical therapy tomorrow. So that's, man, just recuperating, recovering. It's just awesome. Praise the Lord, just very grateful, very thankful. Um, if you didn't read my post from earlier, those of you that did, just kind of updating everybody. Uh, you know, Man, there were some close calls. I mean, I was told some things. I had information about this whole thing that I could not share publicly. People would contact me and they're like, anything you know, anything more? I said, nothing I can share. That's what I would say to them. I'm trying to be a jerk when I'm trying to be rude, but it's just like, if I was told not to say something, I didn't say it. Try to respect people's privacy and, their right to privacy. And if you know, if it wasn't information I could share, I didn't share it. But there were some close calls, man. Okay, so I was very concerned. So I'm glad that it appears that he's over this mountain and on the other side of it now. He and his family. I don't know for sure, but I believe his eldest son is doing better now. The youngest son he had some type of, I don't know, we'll just call it an illness, but I believe he's recovering from that too. I mean, just hit after hit after hit, on his poor family and ministry. So thank you very much for everyone that prayed and continue to pray, you know, for this miracle. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know what other people want to call it. I'm calling it a miracle because, like I said, the stuff that I was told, the information I was given, I was like, oh man. And now from where he was to where he is now, from what's being told to me and what's being reported, I call it a miracle. Other people, they can call it whatever they want. But me personally, I'm looking at it as a miracle because it is quite a comeback in Jesus' name. So we just thank our God Most High. We thank our wonder working power, wonder working power of God, for these miracles and for his healing touch and for his deliverance and just for, answering the prayers of his people. So many people prayed, and I believe those prayers reached the throne room of heaven, and God said, okay, I'm going to give my people what they asked for. I'm going to give this family what they asked for. The Lord is obviously not done with Pastor Faircloth and the ministry and his family and whatnot. They still got a lot of work to do. They still got a lot of kingdom business to handle. So, obviously, but all in good time. Now it's time to recover, recuperate, take your time and, get back in the saddle whenever you're supposed to, but I would not rush anything, okay? I don't know if he'll hear this or not. Probably not, and it's going to probably be longer with everything I'm talking about, so I probably won't send it out to him or anything. But, yeah, I would just, take my time. I told him this already, just take your time, recover. This is some stuff I do know about, anybody's listened to me for any length of time, been on this channel for a while, you know this, but other people, I've gotten some new subscribers, gotten notifications of that, and I thank you. Welcome for coming on over and appreciate it. But yeah, I was a Navy corpsman, and I worked on a general medicine ward as well as a family practice clinic, and I worked with the Marines, was assigned to Marines. I did a lot of different things. I learned a lot of different things, and so that's why I'm familiar with certain medical procedures and what they're called and what they entail and so forth, because I've either seen them done, assisted with them, the doctors, because that's what the corpsmen do in the Navy. You assist the doctors, kind of like a medical assistant or what have you. And, or I've seen them done. I haven't performed them, but I've assisted in them, let's put it that way. And there's certain things, that Navy doctors, especially if they were corpsmen before or what have you, they would actually teach the corpsmen. I had some doctors, show me some things, teach me some things. So I learned how to do certain minor procedures. Let's put it like that. I mean, because in the Navy you don't have to have like the certifications and all the rest of that stuff. I mean, if a doctor wants to teach you something and you're willing to learn, it's just like, heck yeah. It's like, you want to learn how to suture? Yep. And so when they're done with the procedure, whether it's like a mole removal or cyst removal or whatever, once the doctors, they taught you and they've watched you and you're proficient and they feel that you can go ahead and finish it up, they'll say, okay, close them up. It's like, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, what have you. So pretty cool, for a young person, Navy corpsman, or what have you. It's pretty cool, to be honest with you, to learn how to suture and to do some cool stuff that you could never do in the civilian world unless you're going to get sued. I mean, they'll teach you some stuff. The doctors would teach you some stuff. So anyway, so I got to be pretty familiar with a lot of different medical procedures and surgeries, minor surgeries for the most part, and so forth, and things that could be done in hospital rooms and beds that you didn't necessarily have to go under the knife kind of thing. They had to knock you out. They give you local anesthetics and things of that nature. So he had one of those procedures done, so that I was familiar with, and I'm like, yep, it's painful, but it's necessary. So anyway, so enough of that. That's the first report here. Long enough after about 10 minutes, but so just very grateful that he's doing better now, and just thankful, just very thankful. But I've been looking at some things here and there, videos, reading some emails and whatnot, articles, things people have sent me as I can. I've been pretty busy, like I'm sure a lot of you, busy with work and, pretty inundated, overwhelmed with life, with everything that's going on. Try not to be, but sometimes, it's just like, just like an inundation, an overwhelming information overload or whatever. I really try not to be. I really try to kind of take a step back, and I have. I mean, I've taken a step back from people and circumstances and things, and sometimes it's been a permanent step back from certain people because they just wouldn't listen. They just kept pressuring me and pressuring me and pressuring me, and they wouldn't listen. So it's just like, all right, man, that's it. I'm done. Sorry, but I'm not saying, I, hate you or anything like that. I'm not, but it's like I don't have to have relationship with you. I don't have to associate with you. You push me too far, and that's it. I was like, I can't do this anymore, you know. So, but it takes a while to come to that point. And there's certain people, it's just kind of like a temporary thing. It's just like, okay, you've overwhelmed me. You hit me at the wrong time. You kind of ticked me off a little bit. So I'm just gonna, take a step back. Sometimes I'll say, hey, you know what? It's like that's enough. And there's other times where I'm just kind of like, I'm just gonna take a step back and get the hint kind of thing. I mean, I'll get back with people when I can, but it does become like an information overload at times. It's just very overwhelming. And, some people, they just inundate you with emails. And that's fine because I can pick and choose when I look what I want to look at and respond to and whatnot. And some of it is very relevant and important, I think. Timely information that people probably want and maybe want to share out. So I'll put that stuff on the post, I'll post it to the post, you know. But other things, it's just like, I don't care. I just don't care. I am so done with Doge, what is the Department of Government Efficiency, and now U.S. aid. I am done with. I don't care. It's like, because to me, it's kind of like, oh, you mean there's corruption in government? Duh. Oh, you mean there's evil people in charge? Duh. Oh, you mean all of these people, have been, taking kickbacks and, dirty money and laundering and doing this and doing that, and, they worship the devil, and, duh. It's just like, how many articles and videos and stuff do we need on this? I get it. Yeah, it's corrupt, it's evil, it's satanic. I get it. So it's just like, I don't care anymore. It's just like, once it's exposed, it's out there, it's in the light, you know, it's up to people to do whatever they're going to do from there. It's just like, I don't need to see it 24/7 and hear about it 24/7. It's just like, I get it. But see, I think this is the thing people aren't getting. And I admire men like Minister Paul and so forth. And there's some other channels, I can't remember the name of them now, Revealing Truth and 7 Grains of Salt and stuff like, because they really put it out there. And they don't seem to care what anybody thinks. It's just like, because there is a great, great deception going on here. And I don't think people get it. And I really don't. And this is what's come to me about this. I'm calling this the Greatest Showman. If anybody's seen the movie, I'm familiar with the movie, The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman, came out, I don't know how many years ago now. It's been a while. Yeah, my kids were still somewhat young, maybe teenagers, I think. Yeah, yeah, early, mid to late teens, I think, when the movie came out. But it's been a few years, and I remember the soundtrack had pretty good music in it and so forth. It was basically a musical, but people aren't familiar with the story, the movie, or whatever. It's basically the story of P.T. Barnum and the circus, right? And the movie's called The Greatest Showman, and it reminds me so much of what we're seeing now. I mean, it's like, I have to ask, are people enjoying the show? Because that's what this is. It is a circus. It is a show. It is WWE on steroids, man. I mean, that's what this stuff is. I mean, and people are just like eating it up with a spoon, man, and they think this matters. And they think it matters, and it's just like, this is a deception. I mean, the stuff that they're putting out there, the people that they put out in front, the people that they're touting, and then and then they have these Senate confirmations, and they're all heated, and people are angry and upset, and but somehow everybody still winds up getting confirmed. Oh, it's close. Oh yeah, it's definitely close, right? 52-48, kind of thing. It's like, oh, pins and needles biting your fingernails. Are they going to get confirmed? Of course they're going to get confirmed. Of course, because it's a show. It's scripted. It's it's the greatest show on earth, man. And the people that are in front and in the spotlight, they're the greatest showmen. See, like P.T. Barnum, right? I mean, it was his show. It was his circus. He promoted it. He recruited the people for the circus. And I don't know how accurate the movie is, the film is, on his life and whatnot. I don't really know, honestly. Um, I suppose it's debatable. Did he exploit these people? Probably. Probably exploited them for money, and because he would say things, hey, there's a sucker born every minute, kind of thing, and some other quotes I can't recall right now, but he would talk about how, you know, it's all about money, kind of like now, I mean, the people will pay the price to see the ticket for the show. Kind of like the Styx song, The Grand Illusion. Check out the lyrics of that song if you want to. It's The Grand Illusion. Come on in, pay your price for the ticket for the show, or whatever. I'm probably butchering the lyric, but it's the Grand Illusion, you know. Well, it's the greatest show on earth, man. I mean, it's 24/7 news cycle. It is nothing but constant constantly being inundated and overwhelmed with information from all kinds of different sources, and it's just like people can't even catch their breath. This is the greatest show on earth. I mean, it is like, I mean, if people are like, let's put it this way, if they're retirees or something, or unfortunately if they're stuck in a hospital room, a bed or whatever, or they're just ill or whatever the case may be, they have nothing better to do with their time. I mean, they could binge watch this stuff constantly, get it in their heart, their mind, their spirit, get angry, get upset, get elated because, oh, this person's going down, and oh yeah, I know, mass arrests. There's gonna be mass arrests, mass arrests. We've been hearing about these mass arrests forever. Are there going to be mass arrests? I seriously doubt it. Are people going to be held accountable? Maybe a few here or there. You got to throw, you got to go throw some meat to the crowd, some meat to the lions, for the crowd to enjoy, I mean, yeah, maybe there might be a few sacrificed here and there, but real big names, doubtful, you know, doubtful, until I actually see some big names in handcuffs, I don't buy it. Because I get the stories and I see the stories. People send me stuff from time to time or make me aware of things like on real raw news. That's always a tongue twister for me. RealRawNews.com, where they say this person was arrested and that person was arrested and they're in Gitmo, and the reason you're not hearing about it is because there's military tribunals, and some of them are going to be hanged, or some of them have been hanged, and others are in Gitmo and waiting their tribunals, and they're going to be sentenced. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. Is it true? Doubtful. I mean, yeah. If you don't see people for a while, it kind of makes you wonder. It's like, wonder what happened to that person, But for the most part, no. Are there going to be mass arrests? Highly doubtful. Highly doubtful. Because they're all in this together, man. It's all. I mean, everybody that I'm talking to now, for the most part, in this channel, you already know this, okay? You're most likely, I would venture to guess, the majority of the people that listen to me on a regular basis or every so often or subscribe to this channel, I would venture to guess that you pretty much get it, and we kind of see eye to eye on a lot of things. Maybe not your family, maybe not your friends, maybe not coworkers, maybe not other people in general. So, you know, it's hard to navigate these waters when you have to work around these people, live around these people, deal with these people, or whatever else, where they they just bought into it. I mean, I hear people where I work or whatever, and in the breaks that I have to leave the break room, man, because all they want to do is turn on the news right away and see what the latest is. And I said, I couldn't give a rip, man. Give me some peace of mind. I'm out of here, because it's too much all the time. And if the conversation, if the topic does come up and you try to tell somebody the truth, they look at you like you got three heads and you're a hater, or and you don't get it yourself, and you don't understand what they're trying to do, and what the man that's in the chair is trying to do now, and he's doing wonderful and great things and this and that. And I'm like, man, whatever. I don't buy it. Sorry, I don't buy it. I think it's the greatest show on earth. I think what we're seeing is the greatest showman. This is P.T. Barnum's, Ringling Brothers, what is it, Barnum and Bailey Ringling Brothers Circus, or whatever it's called. This is a show, man. We're living under the big top, you know, and I just I'm sorry, I don't buy it. And because I happen to remember some things like way back in like 2016, before the first time the man got in office and everything, and all the Republican debates and everything. Remember little Marco Rubio? Remember how, sorry, this is getting to be PG-13, but hey, this is what they said. This is what it was so childish. It was so immature. If people recall all of this, remember he was, calling him Little Marco Rubio, because, of his hand size, comparing it to, some other anatomy. Do you recall this? I do. I do. See, I mean, but now this guy is Secretary of State. Oh, everything's forgiven. They're all friends now, right? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? I mean, and I'm not just picking on Marco Rubio. That's just the thing that comes to my mind, with these debates. It's a clown show, and how they just, it was just ridiculous. It was so childish, so immature. It was like children fighting at recess, And these were the debates, if you remember, before the first selection in 2017 to put the man in the chair and whatnot, And Was it 2017? Yeah, 2017. Yeah, that's right. Or what? I'm confused now. Whatever it was. 2016. 2016. That's right. Sorry, excuse me. 2016 debates or whatever, it's early. But you know, I remember I just remember this stuff, and I'm just thinking to myself, well, these are the same people, they just kind of recycle them. It's just been several years down the road, and it's the same people, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna be careful here. I'm trying not to be overly critical. I'm just observing and just talking about what I see, okay? What I've observed and witnessed, all right? And then you hear people like Marco or other people, talk about Jesus and how Jesus is their savior. And that very well may be the case. But here's the problem I have, though. Sometimes I think people, like, they call them rhinos, like Republican in name only. It's just like, whatever. Well, I wonder how many people are sinos, Christian in name only, where it's kind of like I said, I'm not trying to be judgmental or overly critical here. I'm just telling you what I see, what I observe, okay? How is it that you could be Secretary of State or take a cabinet position and you say you love Jesus and Jesus is your savior or whatever, and then this man that is in the chair now is doing the things that he's doing, saying the things that he says, promotes and supports the things that he promotes and supports. Like, what is it with the paper mache goat or whatever that thing is? I don't know what it is with the $100 bills. It says "In Trump We Trust" on it. And it's like the Project Goat, or whatever it is. And I mean, that's just one example. What is this stuff? What is this garbage? Where you know do people get that that they're trying to end money as we know it, like get rid of the penny, then pretty soon it'll be the nickels. If you're familiar with this, this is in the news, you know, where because it costs too much to make pennies, costs like 3 to 4 cents to make a penny that is only worth 1 cent. So they're going to get rid of the pennies. Then it'll eventually be the nickels, then it'll be the dimes, and then it'll be all currency. Don't people see where this is going? Don't people get it? They don't. They just don't get it. They don't see the big picture. They have a frail grasp on the big picture. They just can't see where things are headed, or they just don't want to. So you got these people in the cabinet getting, endorsed, or what's the word I'm looking for? Not endorsed, getting nominated. They're nominated already, getting, what is the word? Just put in office, I suppose to say it that way. They're just being put into place. And I just think to myself, how is it that you're supporting this? I mean, how do you still stay in the position? Well, they might just say, well, I'm just doing here to do a job, and I'm just doing the job that I've been, you know, appointed to do, and I'm not concerned with all the politics behind it, and I'm not concerned with this and that, and I'm not concerned with what they really believe and what they really say and who they really serve. I saw a video a while back. People say that's conspiracy theory. Well, I thought it was interesting anyway. I shared it to the community page too. And a lot of people were like, oh, no, no, this is not good. And I don't believe these sources and sites. Whatever. That's fine. You do your own homework and research, whatever. I just found it interesting that Marina Abramovich, some people might know the name, you know, who is like the satanic witch of Hollywood kind of thing, literally calls the man in the chair now the magician, and talked about how he has been put in place and how they've ordained it, for lack of a better term. They've made it happen, and they call him the magician. That's his nickname. Okay, I shared this a while back. I don't know if I'll share it again. I don't even know if I have it. Whatever, it might even be taken down. It was a Rumble video or whatever. Yeah, but they interviewed Marina Abramovich, a more relaxed type interview setting, people just kind of talking to her. It's like, oh, yes, he's the magician, and, we've put him there, and that's his job is basically, didn't say this, but the implication is to deceive the people, to especially Christians, where it's just like, that's his job. That's what he's supposed to do. He's there to bring in the NWO. He's there to deceive as many Christians as possible, to lead people astray, and to get people to follow him, and to basically buy into everything, like the snake poem and all the rest of that jazz. They throw it out there, they tell us, but people are so deceived and they are so clueless. They just don't get it because, like I said, he's the greatest showman, like P.T. Barnum. You know, did P.T. Barnum exploit all these people for money? I don't know. In the movie, it showed that he seemed to care for them. He seemed to care about them or what have you. But I'm not so sure. I don't know. I mean, but we do know that he put on the greatest show on earth. That's what they called it, right? And he brought in the weirdest, strangest people, and people paid their ticket to see the show, and they were entertained by it. And it's kind of like Gladiator. Are you not entertained? I mean, are you not entertained? I mean, we're in the Coliseum here, right? I mean, that's what's happening here. Bread and circuses. I mean, people, they don't get it. They don't want to get it. They don't want to see it. They just, they just want to. And I can't say I blame them because I'm the same way. Just let me live my life, do what I got to do. Love my wife, love my kids, take care of my family, go to work, do my thing, get out and enjoy nature when I can, rest, relax, serve the Lord, do whatever it is He wants me to do. Just leave me the heck alone. Let me just live my life. I get it. I understand that, you know. But the problem is people want to do all those things, but yet still be deceived. And if they do all those things and they're still deceived, then it's kind of for naught because you drank the Kool Aid, you bought into the lie, you believe all the garbage, and you're going to support all of this nonsense. And once you finally wake up, I'm saying you in a general sense, and see the writing on the wall and see what's really going on, it might be too late. Maybe not for you, but your family, your friends, coworkers, whatever else. And it's like, man, I'm exhausted trying to, you know, tell people about this stuff. So I pretty much don't anymore. If it says it, like I said, if it comes up in conversations, I don't buy it. I don't believe it. Well, why don't you believe it? Because I think they're all liars. That's why. I don't trust any of them. DTA, man, don't trust anybody. Learned that from the Sylvester Stallone movie Lockup from years ago, like 1989. Don't trust anybody. What happens in the prison? He trusts somebody where he shouldn't have trusted him. They hosed him over. It's a bad situation. Don't trust anybody. Take your own advice. Don't trust anybody. Now, can you trust like good friends? Hopefully, maybe your family. I know a lot of people probably can't. Depending upon where their family's at and how they feel about certain things. It's a terrible situation, but maybe people can't even trust their own family. I don't know. But the basically don't trust anybody just basically means, as far as strangers, where it comes to people that might try to hurt you, you don't walk around paranoid or anything, but you guys got to be careful. You got to be vigilant. You got to be wise. And when it comes to government, though, and these politicians and these talking heads and all these people, spewing all of this garbage, no, I don't trust any of them. None of them. Zero. Because, like 7 grains of salt or whatever would show pretty obviously, they're all in the club, man. They're all in the club. They're all in the Rotary Club or the whatever club, the special club, the secret society club, they're all in the club. It's a big club and you ain't in it. Okay? It's they're all in the club. They're all in it together. And people say, well, that sounds very cynical of you. Yeah, maybe, but that doesn't mean it's not true. They're all in the club, man. So I don't believe any of them. I just sit back, eat the popcorn, and watch the show. What else can you do? People say, well, you can pray about this and pray about that. Sure, yeah, absolutely. And I do as I feel led to, but for the most part, I believe this is biblical prophecy being fulfilled, and I believe that a lot of this stuff we can't do anything about. We're just kind of in it for the long haul, you know. There's not a whole lot we can do about any of this. Just live your life, man. Help people, do the best you can, serve the Lord, you know. Just, I don't know. Just do what He tells you to do. I mean, but I tell you, Jamie Walden put out a pretty good message yesterday. I think he uploaded it the day before. Something about being hearing impaired. I like the title of it, you know. But it's a good message, and it's shorter than most of his other ones, but it's pretty good. I think I shared it, and just go to Jamie Walden YouTube channel if you want to hear it. But it's a good message, you know, basically about deception, you know, about people that just they don't get it. They're hearing, but they're not listening, because we hear all kinds of stuff. We can't help what we hear. I mean, you just hear sidebar conversations. You hear stuff as you pass by people, or you know, in grocery stores or wherever, conversations, this, that, blah, blah, blah. But most people aren't listening. So they can't hear the voice of the Lord because they don't know Jesus and they're not listening. So they're deceived, and they're continually deceived, and they will continue to be deceived because they're not listening. They're hearing all kinds of stuff, but they're not listening. What did he say? Hearing is kind of like an inactive thing. I'm probably butchering this, but listening is proactive. You know, it's like you can't help what you hear, but listening, you have to be. It's intentional. Let's put it that way. You know, it's like you're hearing me, but are you listening to me? You know, is it getting into your skull? Is it getting into your heart, into your brain? You know, are you really getting it? You know, or are you like a recruit's head, like they talked to us and told us in boot camp when they were teaching us how to fold T-shirts a certain way? They said it's like a recruit's head, thin, thick, thick, thin. That always cracked me up, man. Yeah, it's just like a recruit's head, thin, thick, thick, thin. It's like it's like you're thick, man. Nothing's getting through. That's why we have to show you something 100 times and tell you something over and over and over again, and mash you, make a sailor hurt until you get it. Of course, you can't do that in the civilian world. Of course, you can't do that in regular life. You know, you'll go to jail. That's assault. but but anyway. But seriously, though, some people it's just like, hello, McFly, is anybody in there at all? I have to ask myself that. Some of the stuff people send me, I'm just like, what in the world, man? What are you listening to? I mean, it makes me laugh, and I can immediately dismiss it and ignore it, you know, and I'm just like, what is this garbage? It makes me laugh sometimes. It's like, you really believe this? Really? You really buy into this? It's like, no, man. No, no way. No, this is a great deception. This is the greatest show on earth. And I hope and pray that people start to get it. I really do, but I don't think so. It's like they're too far gone now. It's like you got Trump worship centers everywhere. It's like they're too far gone now. It's like, yeah, are people upset over the goat with the $100 bills with his face on it where it says "In Trump We Trust"? Sure, yeah, they're upset about it, but it'll pass, and then nobody will care, and then it'll be on to the next thing, and then it's just like, what have you done for me lately, or what can you do for me and my family, or are you going to fix this economy? Because if you can fix this economy, then we're good to go, and you can worship whatever you want to worship, and you can believe whatever you want to believe, and say whatever you want to say. If as long as you can help me and my family and fix this economy, I don't care how many golden calves there are and how many goats there are out there and whatever they want to call you and whatever you call yourself. But can you fix this economy? Can you help my family? And I think that's honestly, I think that's the way a lot of people feel. And part of me can't really blame them because people are hurting so badly, and they have no hope because they don't know Jesus, or if they do know Jesus, they're definitely not putting their faith and trust in him. It's divided. It's divided between a politician and between Jesus. Some people put them like on the same level, and it's just like, you can't do that, man. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. It's really that simple. And nobody compares to Jesus. Nothing compares, and no one compares. But people want to put a man or a government, a system, or whatever, up on that pedestal, on the same level, and it's not going to work. That breeds confusion, that breeds fear, that breeds doubt, that breeds depression, that breeds deception, because people's allegiances are divided. And it doesn't work like that. It's either Jesus or nothing. It's really that simple. And I think if people get that, they'll probably be happier overall, and they'll understand a little bit more. They'll have some clarity because now they realize it's just Jesus. It's Jesus or nothing. You can't have both. It's not Jesus and, it's Jesus or nothing. So uh, you know people have to make their choice. Choose this day whom you will serve. I mean, it's obvious to me. It's quite obvious. People have to make the choice. But a lot of people, they think they can have both, and it ain't gonna work. It's just not. So I'm trying to encourage some people here, trying to help you out if I can, to see exactly what's going on. And it's not because I'm an expert or it's because I'm not smart or anything. It's just that I just see the deception. I see the lies. I see they're like pulling the wool over your eyes, man. It's like that snake poem. Talking about himself in the snake poem. Come on, people. It's not that hard to figure out. You know, I mean, you're the vicious snake. Okay, I mean, come on. But people are like, oh, that's judgmental of you. That's mean. That's cruel. And who are you to judge? And it's just like, I'm just telling you what I see. I'm just observing. Okay, I'm that's all I'm doing. I'm just observing. I just have my opinion about certain things, and I don't see the fruit. Okay, like Minister Paul said in his video, we're to be fruit inspectors. I don't see it. If you do, hey, good on you, man. That's awesome. But I don't see it. I'm just not seeing it. All I see is people making excuses and just continually touting this garbage and over and over and over again. And boy, whenever the major events, judgments do hit, whew, people are in shock, just shock and awe. It was like, how did this happen? How could this happen? Why did this happen? Why wasn't it stopped? Why couldn't we have prevented it? Uh-huh. Yeah, it's going to be pretty obvious, you know. As I said, check out Jamie Walden's video, and also Ignited Church, Wednesday service, ignitedchurchlife.com. They had a guest speaker on Wednesday service. Man, that guy was good. I have no idea who the dude was, but he was good. He was really good. He did it. It was more of a preaching than a teaching, but it was still very, very good. Because these are the people that I think are trying to help others out and say, hey, don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. Don't buy into this stuff. It's going to get you hurt. It's going to keep you deceived. And when it does hit, when the major judgments do hit, and when they hit hard and they come in like a flood and people can't stop the bleeding, so to speak, and it's like a domino effect, you do not want to be deceived at that time. You want to make sure that you are close to Jesus as you possibly can be, and you're hearing from the Lord, and you're hearing correctly, and you're hearing clearly, and there is clarity there. And you can block out all the other voices and all the other talking heads and all the deception. Because if you can't, you're in trouble. Maybe not you personally, but your family, friends, coworkers, whatever. Big time trouble. It's going to be, as they say again in the Navy. I remember one of the dudes always told us when we were training with the Marines, well, if this happens, it will suck to be you. It's like, yep. You do not want to be caught in the firefight because it will suck to be you. You do not want to be caught, behind enemy lines because it will suck to be you. All this training and all this stuff they always told us about. Yeah, so if you don't want it to suck to be you, then get close to Jesus now. So that's all I can say because, man, it's going to get rough. It's going to get real rough. All right, I think I'm going to go now. I'm actually getting tired. I might be able to get a little bit of sleep. All right. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Have a good day. Hopefully you have a good weekend ahead. And some people may have a 3-day weekend. I think it's President's Day on Monday or something. So enjoy it if you can. Hopefully the weather works out for you. I know it's going to freeze a lot of places, but other places it might be okay weather-wise. I don't know. I really haven't looked that far ahead. But try to, get some rest if you can and enjoy the good old outdoors if you're able to. And, man, just take each day as it comes. One day at a time, right? So see what each day brings. So, all right. I think I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm getting kind of tired now. All right. Y'all have a great night.